Card testing is when fraudsters use bots to rapidly submit stolen or generated card numbers through a checkout form to find out which ones are valid. Each submission is a real charge attempt, which for a merchant means failed transactions, chargeback fees, and processor penalties that can add up quickly. In this video, I'll show you how to use Fingerprint to block automated card submissions and flag repeat offenders. We'll start with a mock checkout page with no restrictions, and then add Fingerprint to detect and block the abuse. Here's what that looks like without any protections. So first, we've got this basic checkout page. You can assume we kind of are near the end of the checkout, and we're putting in our payment details. I'm going to go ahead and make a purchase, and my order is placed successfully. Cool. But now, what if I want to try a different card number, for example, maybe different details? I can continue to try and make, more and more purchases, right? You can imagine we have these as different actual purchases, but I can go through and continue to add these however often as I want. Now let's say I've got a bot. So here I'm using Puppeteer to kind of go through an example of test card details. Basically, we're just going to launch that same page in the headless browser, and then we're going to loop through the list of cards that I want to test, basically. These could be stolen cards, made-up cards, etc. And in the bottom right, you can see I'm testing each card, and some of them are succeeding, some of them are invalid, but basically at the end of this, I would have a list of valid credit cards, right? The server is right now only checking whether the card details are complete. They're not really recording how many attempts have come from the same browser or device, or how that attempt is being made. So a bot can just cycle through those card numbers without any resistance. Okay, so at this point, I want to see what this looks like if we add Fingerprint. So here I got the purple version with Fingerprint already added. Again, I'm going to go ahead and add in my fake credit card information here. And I can start off in the same way, right? I can continue to try maybe a few different credit card details because, maybe you're making a few different purchases, for example. You can kind of go through and start to add them. But this time, I'm now going to be blocked after a certain amount of attempts. So see here at that last one, now my order is failing. I'm no longer able to continue to try. Now, I can go ahead and reset the demo, and I'm going to now change my Puppeteer script here to use the Fingerprint version that's on 3001. And I'm going to use the same script and test those cards. This time, you'll see, as we go in the bottom right corner, each of those orders are failing, right? So now I'm hitting the Fingerprint version of the application, and all of those are failing. So Fingerprint gives the server a consistent identifier for the browser device behind each request, as well as characteristics about that visitor. So it makes it possible to not only count submissions per device, but also catch automated behavior. So let's go ahead and see how this is actually implemented. So first thing I'm doing here is bringing in the library. And when we click that button to actually check out, we're going to ask Fingerprint to identify the visitor with the get function. It's going to return to us an event ID, and we're going to use that event ID on the back end to get the full details. So I'm going to make sure to pass the event ID to the back end here in that request, and then I can retrieve it here. We're going to pass it through with the body, with the whole order to my place order function, and I can retrieve it here in the back end. Now, first thing I want to do is bring in the Fingerprint server API client with the secret API key. Make sure not to expose that on the front end. And I'm going to continue to bring that event ID all the way through. We're going to use that event ID to get the full identification event. So using the get event function, I can get things like VPN detection, bot detection, browser tampering detection, etc. Now, the first thing we're going to do, like I mentioned before, is our bot detection. We return to you either good, bad, or not detected. So anything that's not detected, you can count as a bot, whereas good would be things like search engine crawlers, for example. So in this case, if a bot is detected, we're going to, fail on the purchase. You can also use our suspect score. Our suspect score just takes all our smart signals together and returns it to you as a single number, where a higher number is more anomalous or more suspicious. So if you want to block suspicious activity, you can do that as well. Next, we've got the visitor ID. Now, this is a stable identifier that is stable across IP address changes, cookie clearing, etc. for the browser or device of the visitor. So we're going to use this and actually keep track of the orders based on the visitor ID. So in this case, I can say if the number of orders is more than a 5, for example, or whatever number, we're going to block the order. Now here's that helper function just to count the recent orders, just a SQL function to see how many are recently made by the visitor. Coming back up to the top here, we have our basic card validation, right? That kind of stuff. And we're going to also include the visitor ID when we're saving the order information. So if we get through all of our checks and the order succeeds, we want to make sure we save that visitor ID so we can actually check it later on with our save. So I'm going to update the save order function to now include the visitor ID so that that gets saved alongside the order details. And that's about it. We're going to save and make sure we're good to go for our test. And we can now try it again in our version here with the orange version, reset the database, put in our fake credit card details here and start over. So again, we've got a threshold, I think it was 5 we can test out. So I'm going to go ahead and place that first order. And now let's go ahead and actually check this with the bot detection. So I'm going to go back to 3000. That's where our current server is. And the bottom right, you can see I'm testing it now with that same bot. And now we can see that we're actually getting all of our orders failed. And on the left side, that's the server console here as well. We can see we actually have the bots being detected there. So checkout forms in general, they are a common target because they give an immediate feedback whether a card is valid. And Fingerprint lets you add that device level check to your payment flows. So automated submissions or repeat offenders get caught before they cause any damage. Now, in a real implementation, you might choose to tune your threshold for certain typical checkout flows, based on typical volumes. You can add additional rules for velocity. Of course, you've got your payment processor checks as well. But if you want to take a look at what this looks like in detail, check out the tutorial and the sample app for step-by-step instructions. Take care.